my ass.
Wow, we can't say that within the first 5 seconds, Alex. Say that within the
Might
first
be.
5. The first thing people hear is just you saying, "Come on."
Might be.
Like, right when I hit... I hope it didn't pick it up.
Metaphors, Vlad! You don't get interested in metaphors!
I don't think it got picked up. So, you know... Welcome to Comics Cast. It's your boy Vlad, Xavier, and MC Man. It's been a while, hasn't it? Casually checks notes. Our last upload was 3 weeks ago. Yeah, we're talking about a bunch of different stuff here. So I guess I want to get started with, like, I guess a group conversation here. What are y'all's thoughts on Avengers Inc., which is coming out here shortly?
Inc?
Yeah, Avengers Inc. You're not familiar with Avengers Inc.?
Yeah, I am familiar with that new Avengers title by Al Ewing.
Avengers Inc. You know Avengers Inc.
Yeah, I'm interested in Avengers Inc., to say the least, because it's got Janet. It might bring back Hank, you know, maybe. No guarantees on that. And I just want to see... It's pretty obvious who murdered Whirlwind by this point. I don't think this murder mystery is going to be that great of a murder mystery.
Griffin!
See, that would be a surprise, but, you know...
Yeah. Just have a fat guy with a Pietro wig on, just dressed like Peter Griffin, and go, hey Dre, remember that time we fought Ultron? Hey.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like it's gonna be Ultron though.
I'm excited for Avengers Inc.
Yeah, I'm not interested in the murder mystery part because they really kind of spoiled it to me. Unless it's an actual surprise and Ultron just shows up out of nowhere. But...
You're not interested in the murder mystery part?
Yeah, because it's pretty obvious who the fucking murderer is if you keep paying attention to, like, the covers and stuff and all the stuff they've been, like, releasing with it. It's pretty obvious it's Ultron.
I didn't. I didn't pay attention to the covers. I had other stuff to do. Plus, I am excited for murder mysteries!
Well, I'm just going to tell you now, I'm 80% certain it's Ultron. And there's like a 20% chance it's Jocasta. Don't ask why.
Can I say, like, my guess from, like, the bottom of my heart?
What?
It's Hank's wife from another universe!
Oh god, it's Ultimate Janet. God damn it.
No, it's the butler! It's the butler!
It's Jarvis.
I think it could be a mix of Ultron and Jocasta, where, like, Jocasta got infected with Ultron, and then they're just going to make Jocasta Ultron from this point forward.
Yeah, that could happen.
Sounds like an idea to me.
That would be an interesting idea, and I can definitely see it, and I think just the Ultron that they've been, like, hiding in the fucking covers is just Easter eggs.
Yeah, because I hope this is how they bring back Hank.
I know.
This should be how they bring back him. This should be how they bring him back.
Now, if they do bring back Hank, I don't really want him to be in a relationship with Jan because, as I said before, Ultimate or Unstoppable Wasp did a good job, like, burying the hatchet with that, especially with fucking Ewing's Wasp. Like, Ewing's Wasp and Unstoppable Wasp both basically submitted that Jan's done with Hank. So I do not...
I don't think there's anything more that you can say with them outside of them just being friends.
Yeah, like...
I don't think you can do that. Like, because I think Marvel even stopped doing that. They don't do that anymore, because if you've read Rage of Ultron, they're just friendly to one another now.
Yeah.
They never cross any sort of, like, romantic boundaries with one another. I think it's very clear that they won't be together.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't want Jan to be out of nowhere like, yeah, let's fuck. Like, if that happens, it's like, okay. All of this, and then you're just like, oh, there he is. Like, okay.
Yeah. Like, there's nothing that needs to be said about that relationship. I feel like Hank being like a single bachelor sort of situation that just came back to life is one way to handle it. I would still like him to have some sort of a relationship with Janet, even if that's just like coworkers or friends or like teammates. I would like that to happen.
Yeah.
Maybe even as, but I would like Hank and Nadia to have a discussion. I think it's overdue.
That is all I want is Hank and Nadia to meet up and talk with each other.
Yeah.
Like, that would be the best way to end the book. If Hank comes back and it's just Nadia and Hank just catching up. Because there was an Ant-Man and Wasp comic that was a Nadia and Scott. And they go to, like, it's part of, like, the quantum realm or some bullshit like that. But it's like a really weird, fucked up distortion of what they want. And it's like a version of Hank that's not really Hank. And Nadia's like so happy to be talking to him, and then she realizes, oh shit, this isn't Hank. But she's just so obsessed with it. She's just like, she doesn't want to leave, you know? Because this is all she wanted. But
I agree with you guys. I agree with you guys regarding this. But also, I think the aspect you're how do I say this? You're forgetting about is Vision. Vision is also gonna be a main character, so I would like to see like what this series will mean to him.
yeah.
And also, I'd love to see Hank and Vision just interact, like more. They're like
yeah, because
like
Wonder
Hank
Man's in it
is like-
too.
Yeah.
Sorry
Okay.
for interrupting you.
There's Wonder Man. There's Wonder Man.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, Wonder Man's going to be in it too.
Okay, that's based. I love Wonder Man.
Which is like why a lot of people are going, okay, so Ultron is going to be here, and in the covers they had like different, like Ultron's head was like incorporated into the cover in different ways, and that's the main reason why people are just kind of like, okay, so this is definitely like the Pym reunion here. That's why a lot of people consider the fact that Jocasta might show up, and because again we have Wonder Man, we have Viz. So yeah, we got Janet, so it's kind of makes sense that Hank would follow.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm just interested to see though what happens with this, nonetheless, because this seems like a very interesting thing.
Yeah.
Honestly,
You go, Xavier.
okay. To be honest, I'm more interested in what this book seems like it's gonna do, or as a superhero comic. It's kind of a noir mystery story, and I really like the genre. But also, like, I'm really, really excited to see Ewing like writing more Marvel. The dude is like, he should get a lot more work with the quality of stuff he puts out. Seriously.
Yeah, Ewing is really good, and I don't understand people that hate on his writing, because it's always been good.
There's more than like 2 people that hate on Ewing?
I've seen 3 people on Twitter that hate on it, and judging by the likes that they get, I think there's more people that hate on Ewing.
I don't know why, but like he's one of the best writers in the business. He made Immortal Hulk.
Yep.
That's literally some of the best writing in modern comics. Like, he made like the best X-Men run in like 10 years or so. Oh my god, he made so many great comic books.
Yeah.
So
What do you want to say, Alex?
The other thing, I just want to point out, guys, the big 3 are Cap, Iron Man, and Thor. Enough. Okay.
Who discusses this? Who
No, the big three is Hulk, Wolverine, and Spider-Man. No, I'm just kidding.
But like, why?
Big three. They're so. Can I explain this? Because I feel like there's a good enough theory to explain this. It's like really stupid, but like it explains it. They're the most popular characters pre-MCU, so automatically the big three. Although they don't make sense thematically to be the big three. Like,
Yeah.
you ever see these?
Well, no, because like, thematically they all make sense because again, each one of them touches a different corner of the DC universe. Superman is the fantastical, big, bombastic side of like cosmic shit. You know what I mean? Batman, he fights like street crime. He's more grounded. There are more detective stories with him. Wonder Woman's mythology, right? All of them touch some aspect of that universe in such a way. Tell me what Wolverine grants the big three,
Yeah.
other than like he looks cool next to Spider-Man and Wolverine in fan art.
Yeah.
Wolverine being the face of the X-Men is one thing, but not even in universe is he the face of the X-Men.
We all know that's Cucklops because, well, the X-Men get cut. No, just kidding.
I would say it's Xavier.
Yeah, it's probably Xavier.
Logan hasn't been an X-Man for like a few years now. It's kind of bad.
Yeah. Is anyone in the universe reading the current Wolverine run?
I am getting back into it. I'm getting back into it.
I was thinking about doing that too because the Ghost Rider crossover looks like a crossover.
I'm probably going to read it, but only because Wolverine happens to be the most successful X book at the freaking X offices at the moment. It's crazy.
Wait, really?
It's crazy. Yeah, dude, that book is still going. It never got renumbered or anything. We're about to hit X-Men 25, and then in X-Men 26, Emma's about to get married, right? The last time we had an X-Men book came out in 2018, 2019.
What is
Right.
the Wolverine book up to?
Logan is just like... Logan should be somewhere in the 50s.
In the 50s. Wow.
In terms of what? Body age or actual age? Just...
What do you mean?
Wait, what? I was just asking what number is the book at?
Oh, the book or... I thought like... Oh, sorry. Wolverine is like
No.
40. Like,
No, I wasn't asking about Wolverine's age. He's old as fuck. He's old enough to fuck the entire Sharon or the entire Carter lineage. So,
Carter... What Carter lineage?
you know, Sharon Carter, Peggy Carter, you know, they could have fucked Grandma Carter,
yeah.
great-great-grandma
Yeah.
Carter. He could have fucked every Carter for like 10 generations.
Why I don't remember any of this? Oh yeah, stop following Wolverine around Destiny.
There's also the other aspect of this big three talk where it's just like three of them are rarely ever in the same room together.
Yeah.
Oh, they're almost at 40. Huh.
The Hulk is rarely in the same room as Wolverine, and if they are in the same room, typically they're smacking one another.
Yeah, it's...
Right? Spider-Man, sometimes he's in the same room, but the same people are, these are the big three. But then go ahead and say, like, he's a loner, where it's just like, Spider-Man is the most popular character in the Marvel Universe. But the big three are Cap, Iron Man, and Thor because they touch different sides of the Marvel Universe. They touch different corners. So, Captain America, being the best of humanity, the leader, he's pretty much the tactical mind, that if a situation happens, he just figured out a resolution in like a minute. Right? Iron Man being the billionaire industrialist, where pretty much most of his technology is floating around the world that the characters live in, because believe it or not, yes, it is a world. And then Thor being the god of thunder, right? Being the biggest powerhouse in the Marvel Universe outside of the Hulk. The Hulk is honestly stronger than Thor. I'll always hold true to that.
Yeah.
All of them represent a different side of the Marvel Universe that's more representative than just Spider-Man, Hulk, and Wolverine, and the only reason why they say that is because those three are the most popular. pre-MCU, but it's just like, okay, but then where does Daredevil stand? Well, Daredevil's kind of a Z-lister.
Yeah.
Okay, I see how it is. I get it. So you guys want to be different so bad. Daredevil now just became a Z-lister. You know what I mean? Like, no. I'll say this: Captain America. It took a while for him to get as popular as he was today. Iron Man is more popular than he's ever been before. Well, no, not necessarily, because in the 60s he was very popular. People tend to forget. I had a discussion with somebody. They were like, their impact in the 60s. I was like, wait, Spider-Man, Hulk, and Wolverine. Somebody wasn't here in the 60s.
Yeah.
Their impact from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. All right. Wolverine's first appearance was in 74.
Yep.
Right? And then he didn't show up for a number of issues. He didn't show up for like a year or two, and then he shows back up, and then he's with the X-Men, and they were thinking about kicking him out.
Yep.
Some impact. Some impact.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the impact of Wolverine. Like, I think like before 1985, at least Logan wasn't like as popular as he would be, you know, like recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's kind of like me reevaluating everything, like post whatever, like me reevaluating things through the lens of history. So, but still, like that's kind of my take on it.
Yeah, I just want to say I've already made my Cyclops cucking joke, so I can't make another one.
So back in the 60s, here's what they posted everybody as. The Avengers, very important. Hawkeye, actually, yeah, very important. The Avengers are very important. Hawkeye is important. Quicksilver, not important. Scarlet Witch, very important. Vision, very important. Or no, just important. Hercules, important. Black Panther, important. Black Knight. Captain America, very important. Iron Man, very important. Thor, very important. Spider-Man, and the Fantastic Four. Except for the Invisible Girl. So, you see what I'm saying? Like, the X-Men were like an afterthought back in the 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of shows that like they're an afterthought. Like if you actually read the books, because I read like the first two issues of X-Men. Like 60s X-Men is just, hey guys, Jean is here. Awooga, awooga. Hey,
Yeah, they just get horny. They're just like a bunch of like.
Ronald Reagan for a battle.
It's a girl walking into the men's locker room. That's what it is in all the X-Men books.
Yeah.
Seriously, Vlad, if you read an issue, they're just like, hey, I think I'm gonna court Jean today. And it's just like, really? What are the Fantastic Four doing? I care more about what they're up to.
The Fantastic Four are there. Hey, fuck you, Johnny. You're an asshole. Hey, Ben, you're also an asshole. Hey guys, stop him. Reed Richards, I'm the smart.
There's like a thread somewhere where it's like all the sexist shit Reed Richards has said.
Because he's Reed Richards.
Back in the 60s, he was fucking. Oh, they have a. Yeah, okay, I found it. Okay. So, fuck me, bro. Hold up. Is Reed Richards a misogynist? No, he's not a misogynist. And they cite that time that Reed had to smack Sue out of unconsciousness.
That's, 60s comics have their own charm, just started reading them.
They do.
Like fucking, yeah, they're like...
Yeah, like, Reed's like, quit being hysterical, woman.
Yeah, that is sexist, but at the same time, it's funny as fuck.
He said shit like that.
That is like the funny shit.
The 60s Marvel, 60s Marvel comic books was incredibly funny. Like, genuinely, Vlad, remember those videos like that you sent me? Like, oh my god, I'm Captain America, I'm doing cocaine!
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the
Right?
60s era
That's
was
the
solid
exact
JJ
fucking
skits.
tone of the 60s books. Yeah, that's the exact fucking tone of the 60s books without the sexism. And with
I love this dialogue from Fantastic Four issue 12. Looks like I'll be going along for the ride. I'm not sure how I can help. Miss Storm, a pretty young lady, can always be of help. Just by keeping the men's morale up. That's just the way we feel about Sue, General.
Oh my
And
god!
20 years later, this woman was beating the shit out of a Celestial.
Oh yeah, please, dear, don't go feminine on me just now. Don't. He said, please, dear, please, dear, don't go feminine on me just now. I haven't the time or the patience.
Oh my god,
Reed
this was an
Richards.
era. This was
Yeah.
the time. Yeah, the 60s was a
Yeah,
solid JJ
like-
skit. Like, I'm very
Yeah,
surprised
just
that
wanna say-
I'm very surprised Taskmaster actually didn't fucking snap his arms. But, you know. Anyways, what are you saying?
He said, listen, you lovely little cupcake. You know I'd do anything in the world for you. I'd face a million superpowered foes without a second thought, but when I see one tear in your gorgeous eyes, destroys me. Then I mean you're right.
Is this Reed? Is this
I've
Reed?
been blind,
Time to have this.
inconsiderate. I've been a blind, inconsiderate fool, and I'm going to make it up for you. I want to buy you a whole new wardrobe, and then you and I will do the town like it's ever been done before.
Who
Reed
is this?
Richards.
Is this Reed?
This is Reed talking.
Oh
Susan,
my
be
god.
quiet. Susan, be quiet. Daredevil and I are in no mood to listen to your drivel.
Why is every fucking character in the I am, the more I read 60s comics, the more I think, Stan Lee.
Some of this is the 80s. Some of the shit Reed's just saying it. He's just like, dumb bitch. But he doesn't actually mean that. You know what I mean?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You lovely little cupcake.
I just want to say something. That people who recommend you starting from the 60s, like, they're liars. They're just genuinely liars.
I wouldn't recommend the
Half the-
60s era to anyone. Like, if you have time.
I think it's a good time capsule. I do. I just can't believe Reed just don't go all feminine on me. Whoa.
So what? You want her to go all masculine on you? You want her to dom you? Is that what it is, Reed?
You want
Fellas,
her to
is it
dom
gay
you.
if you want someone to go masculine on you?
Please, dear, don't go feminine on me just now. I haven't the time or the patience. Can't you see I'm involved in something important? He said, can't you see I'm doing something important is what he said. Jesus.
Yeah, like, guys, you know that Reed doesn't just spend his time being a sexist. You know that.
No, he
also
does other
spends his
things.
time doing war crimes and atrocities to the Skrull Empire.
Yep. Gotta remember, he's
Yeah.
a bigot against scrolls.
Yeah. He turned 2 Skrulls into cows. And those cows got slaughtered. I think.
I mean,
Probably.
I want to know what squirrel beef tastes like. Like, if
well,
someone offered
Reed
me a
knows-
squirrel mignon, I'd fucking eat a squirrel mignon. Not even kidding.
Well, Reed knows what Skrull beef looks like. The Skrulls got beef with him. They got beef, like a freezer full of it.
Yeah, like, they even made the fucking Super Skrull to fight him. The cooler Super Skrull, not the one from the show.
Don't you get it though? The big three, though. The big three. I'm joking. We're gonna move on. Maybe.
To Secret
I had to get
Invasion.
that out of the way.
What do y'all think of the finale of Secret Invasion?
I was disappointed. I showed Vlad.
But yeah, he showed me the ending, and I'm just kind of like, this is how you end your show? This is a mess. The fucking animation was horrible. the CGI was horrible. I mean, that's basically animation, but it was so bad.
The CGI
action
was like
bad.
a YouTube video.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was direct-to-video quality. It was painful to fucking watch.
Okay, this is really offensive, lad. Remember that. Straight-to-video movies have better CGI than that.
No, man.
And the writing is way better.
Oh, God, yeah. There might have been better. Yeah, there's definitely...
Hold up. I can't stand by and let you abduct him like this. You must. You have no other choice. Reed, be careful. We're alone here. And his guards are all armed. Stop sounding like a wife, Sue. I still make the decisions for this team. A man's life may be at stake.
Stop sounding like a wife, Sue!
Sue, you should start sounding like my lover. You should start sounding like my gay lover.
Oh my God, start sounding like a man! Get masculine! Don't
Reed,
get feminine
dearest.
on me!
Reed, dearest, I've been such a fool. Not a fool, Sue. Merely a female. You couldn't have reacted differently. But we haven't time to talk. Not with Dr. Doom on the loose. You're not a fool, you're just a woman.
Where's the issue where he just injects raw testosterone into Sue? Where's that issue at?
Sexist Reed is always funny. Sexist Peter Parker is also funny. Sexist Batman's never funny. It's just like, it's more... Sexist Batman's fucked up.
Sexist Batman just makes sense. And it goes quiet. I'm proud of myself for making the fucking room go quiet.
But back to the Secret Invasion, the plot. So bad.
CGI was bad. Like, the ending was bad. The fact what they did with Rhodey, them being a Skrull. I haven't seen the show. I just saw the ending. But, like, they ruined Rhodey's character just by making him a fucking Skrull. And I cannot believe that. It's terrible.
I feel like the part of the finale that, like, is just spy shit is pretty decent. You know, the like is just spy shit is Yuri fighting Rhodey Skrull. It's pretty decent. The problem is that it's fused with this CGI abomination.
Yep.
Like, I just wanna ask the people who made this, what the fuck did you think when you made this?
They had to be on some drugs or something.
Or like someone just stepped in and said, "Hey guys, how's your Marvel project going?" It's going well, Mr. Kevin. Yeah, but like I don't see you having a giant final fight. Mr. Kevin, what are you doing, Mr. Kevin?
I don't think it's him. I don't think it's his fault with this. I think what happened was that they wanted to do Super Skrulls, but they didn't know really how to do it with the way that the MCU was structured. Like, a lot of the cool stuff with the Skrulls in this show and the MCU kind of doesn't have a place in the MCU. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, there can't be a Secret Invasion because a Secret Invasion doesn't really work within the context of the MCU. There can't be a Super Skrull because why would they do that?
Yep.
Right. You can't have those things based on what has already been established. So Skrulls are kind of like lame, and I kind of wish the last time they would have touched them was Captain Marvel. They would have left it alone after that.
You know, I kind of think that the Skrull stuff is like really cool. It's just didn't feel like the tone of what the MCU was trying to do with them.
I agree with you because it was kind of... We didn't know where they were going to go with Nick, and the things that they do with Nick, right, if we notice, it's a push and pull. Like, they keep trying to tell us Nick Fury's capable. right? But he's still that buffoon from Captain Marvel. Where now I'm kind of confused, where it's just like, well, which is it?
They really blundered it.
Yeah, it's just like, you can't say Nick is competent by also saying that 90% of his career is owed to the Skrull Empire. Where it's just like, okay, but at what point in time did Nick start doing the super spy shit?
Yep.
Never. It's the bit of a slap in the face.
It's a giant slap in the face. It hurts the character. It hurts a lot of the stuff the MCU did. It ruins a lot of really good moments from the MCU. So it's like already the MCU has far and few moments that are like really good, and to just completely like shit on them or to value them with the Skrulls and all that kind of shit, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
To devalue them is one thing. It's like you said. It's just like to give Nick Fury's entire skill set to the Skrulls, where it's just like, you guys remember Phase 1, where Nick was like this really cool super spy, right? There's a reason why this guy is in charge, and you don't want to know why.
Yeah.
Right? He wrestled power all the way up to the top. He's where he's supposed to be, and it's right. It's fitting. Right? He created S.H.I.E.L.D. is from what, if you watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., throughout Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they keep trying to tell you Nick Fury created S.H.I.E.L.D.
What S.H.I.E.L.D.? The current one, yeah.
So, they like to pretend like it was the ultimate idea, where like, S.H.I.E.L.D. was pretty small when it started out, but when it became S.H.I.E.L.D., there wasn't that many people there, and Nick Fury was kind of already appointed head of everything, because when he left the military, he was appointed colonel. Right? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh.
Sorry, I was just like, I don't know if that was my headphones or what, but I don't know. I don't know.
Oh,
That was my headphones.
yeah. But yeah, when Nick left the army, he was a colonel. That's what the MCU tells us. And then it's just like, okay, so he's a very capable soldier. He knows how to act, right? But Secret Invasion just kind of took that away from him. Because Phase 1, he was really cool. Like, him getting the Avengers and gathering them, assembling them, and making sure that, like, hey, I'm fighting the National Security Council to make sure that this thing happens. We need you guys, not them. Right? That was cool.
Oh,
Nick making decisions, especially Winter Soldier. Like, that guy was capable. Like, he had plans within plans, contingencies within contingencies. You couldn't see him coming if you tried.
Yep.
And then Secret Invasion kind of like takes it away.
Yeah.
I was really disappointed with that. I was like, oh, why? And of all the characters to, like, make blundering fools, and they kept repeating the same joke where it's like, nobody calls me Nick.
Oh yeah, that joke. Even though I swear to God, some people have called him Nick before.
I remember Steve did.
Yeah.
Because he, I just want to say that, like, maybe the no one calls me Nick rule doesn't apply to Steve because Steve is basically a living legend.
Maybe.
You know?
And even then, like, Steve does call him that every once in a while. Where it's just like, I get it, it's cool. I expected a lot more than what we were given. And I'm pleasantly surprised by the first few episodes, but the show just kept going downhill. It's just like, it started off great, and then it just kind of slumped down. And this kind of is Marvel Studios' fault, where now we need more quality control again, versus just projects being all willy-nilly with no actual plan. And there's that thing that they said recently where one of the producers had said, we don't hire fans of these projects. Now, I'll say this, right? Sometimes fans don't know what they want, and sometimes a fan can be too close to something, right? To actually tell a meaningful story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But sometimes you should leave it to your discretion on which fans you should and shouldn't trust. Joss Whedon was a fan, and we got 2 good Avengers films out.
Yep, we did.
Right? I know he's a piece of shit, but god damn, those 2 movies are really good.
Yeah.
Like that's what got the Avengers train rolling. It's another thing I tend to notice. The downplaying of the Avengers' importance in the Marvel universe is just baffling. It's baffling.
It really is.
It blows my mind. Which I ask people what's a Marvel event, and they say Age of Apocalypse and Days of Future Past.
So, I agree that calling Days of Future Past an event is stupid, but wasn't Age of Apocalypse kind of an event?
Marvel.com says it is.
Oh, do you think
But-
it fits?
No. I don't, because it's like, it can't be an event.
Yeah.
The reason why is because that event is only specific to just X-Men books.
I mean,
Right.
I guess at the same time too, though, I kind of feel like
This is actually a more interesting issue. How do we define events? Starting with you, Vlad. How do you define an event?
to
A comic
me,
event.
an event is like a very large conflict or something that has pressing matter that touches the entire Marvel universe, or has consequences that could touch the entire Marvel universe. So
Yeah.
anything that could end the fucking universe or end all of like humanity or something like that is an event to me, where they have to deal with
It has
like,
everybody's
a
attention,
massive
yeah.
threat, where it's not like a very gradual, like if they're
Yeah.
doing something slowly, that's not an event. If it's all of a sudden we need to deal with this issue now, I see that as an event. If it's that big, that's how I've always seen it.
I'm looking at it right now. It says the core issues of Age of Apocalypse is X-Men Generation X. Next. Astonishing X-Men. Yeah, there's another Astonishing X-Men. Excalibur. Gambit and the Externals. Right? Weapon X. The Amazing X-Men. X-Factor. No, Factor X, excuse me. X-Man
Factor
and
X
X-Men. So, looking at this, Vlad, would you consider Age of Apocalypse as an event?
What was the main conflict?
After Xavier is murdered by his own son, Magneto embraces his old friend's dream of peace, leading to a twisted alternate world. In a twisted version of the world, they knew the X-Men battle against the eternal mutant apocalypse as Bishop seeks to repair the timeline. Legion, Xavier's own son, attempts to kill off all of Xavier's enemies. However, when Legion attempts to murder Magneto, Xavier sacrifices his own life to save Magnus. As a result, Magneto casts off his anti-human sentiments and carries on Xavier's dream of peaceful coexistence, thereby founding the X-Men. So it's another alternate reality.
Yeah, it's an alternate reality crisis, which, I mean, if it is as pressing as it sounds, I would say that's an event. If if it really has implications that it could affect all of humanity. Like, at bad times,
Yeah, but it only...
fucked up shit happens. But if it's only going to affect mutants, I can still see it as an event. It's a mutant event, but, you know...
Yeah, it only affects the Xbox. Like, this never bleeds out into anybody else's book. It never, like, there's never a Spider-Man tie-in to Age of Apocalypse. It's just the X-Men. Which is, like, that's why I have a hard time calling this an event. Because it's just,
if
like,
the effects
really
affect
not.
the outcome of mutant lives, it wouldn't affect the Avengers or anyone else. It just affect mutants.
Yeah.
And the only book
Then
that
by
deals
that,
with
yeah.
mutants is X-Men. Like, the X-books always deal with mutants. So I can consider this an event because it's affecting the lives of a lot of people. So,
Yeah, but it's an alternate timeline.
Yeah, it is
It's an alternate
timeline bullshit, which I hate alternate timeline bullshit shenanigans. But
that's why it's like I have a hard time calling it that because it's only within the X books. It never goes out of that. So I'm like, Age of Apocalypse, not necessarily. But what do you think, Xavier? How do you define event?
To me, so an event, I kind of feel like it's a crossover at its core. An event is a crossover. It's a crossover between more than like 2 or 3 titles. It's a crossover that like affects all of the Marvel Universe, or at least a huge part of the Marvel Universe's publication. Like, for example, a street level event, like Shadowland.
Or Gang War that's coming up.
Yeah.
Gang War is an event, but and I see where you're coming from too, Xavier. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I kind of agree and disagree with that because like sometimes events, when it's just a crossover, right? And no offense, by that logic, Marvel Team Up should be an event.
Based.
yeah,
No,
Team Up is it? Or
I mean, that's just by that logic. If we're gonna say it has to be a crossover, okay, well then every Avengers book is an event.
I mean, I kind of see it as if it
Kang
is
Dynasty was an event. For our heart and soul.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Mike?
No, I was saying that, yeah, I kind of see where Xavier's coming from with it being a crossover with different characters, but I also see that it has to, like, if it does cross over, if it is an event with a crossover, it has to affect the entire Marvel Universe.
Exactly. That's why it's hard.
I think that's what Xavier was saying, though, that it's a crossover event that deals with the entire Marvel Universe. I think that's what Xavier was trying to say.
Yeah, it can't be just specific. I think... Yeah, you go, Xavier.
Like a part of the Marvel Universe. I feel like if it deals with like a whole part of the Marvel Universe, like the street level shit, or the mutant type shit, like it deals with like one part of the Marvel Universe, but like it's full. It's that entire section of the Marvel Universe. To me, that is the least an event should do. Like fucking Utopia. To me, it's an event, but it's an X-Men event. It's not an event for the rest of the Marvel Universe. And like a ton of Avengers guides I've seen on the internet just recommend you to skip it. It's cringe to skip it, but like that's besides the point. But because it's like really inconsequential to the Avengers part of the Marvel Universe, or any part of the Marvel Universe, but it's extremely consequential for the X-Men part of the Marvel Universe. And contrast this to something like Dark Reign. Dark Reign, which happened at the same time as Utopia, was important for the whole Marvel Universe. It's something basically unskippable if you want to get at least a little bit of knowledge of Marvel during that time. So that to me is a company-wide event as opposed to like an event centered around a corner of the Marvel Universe.
I think, yeah, because like I think the problem with Age of Apocalypse being considered an event, right, is that it only touches an aspect of the Marvel Universe, and it's only specific to the X-Men line of books. The only crossover there is with X-Men and other X-Men related books. Which, as you know how I feel about that, that's annoying. Right?
Yeah.
That's why it's not really an event. Like Annihilation is an event. Civil War is an event. Right?
Oh, not to be an asshole, but like, you can say that like Annihilation, by your logic, Annihilation isn't an event because it doesn't touch any part of the Marvel Universe that isn't the cosmic one.
Yeah, but the stakes are so high, and outside of cosmic books, it's not just relegated to, like, just one team. Right? It's not one team's book. It's not an event meant for one team. Like, even the Marvel says Armor Wars is an event. That's not an event.
Yeah, Armor Wars is an event. It's not.
Armor Wars can't be an event. It has shit that you might construe it as an event. You might get it confused as an event, but it's not an event. Right? It touches every aspect of the Marvel Universe. I will say Armor Wars touches every aspect of, the global Marvel side of things, but not an event. Because it shouldn't be, it's not what it is. Excuse me. That's not what it is. And to view it as such, that means that other books now are events. Like let me see. Sins Past now is an event. No. Shouldn't be. Right? Let's look at another one. We have The Crossing. Let me see what this is. That's not an event.
Nope. Yeah, if we're talking about The Crossing where fucking Tony goes insane and starts murdering the Avengers, that's not it. That's not an event. That's not an event.
That book, the almost character is fascinated.
Enemy of the State is not an event.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Enemy of the State wasn't an event?
That's not an event.
How is Wolverine beating the shit out of everyone not an event?
It's not an event because it doesn't go into anybody else's book. There's no tie-in to Enemy of the State. Yeah, in order for an event for me, how I view events is that it's a crossover and it has to have large stake implications. So it's a meld of what you both just said, but it has to bleed out into other books. Like there has to be a tie-in of some sort. So if we had Wolverine Enemy of the State and I don't know, a Squirrel Girl tie-in was fit in there.
Yeah,
right?
So even if it just touches Squirrel Girl, Wolverine is beating the fuck out of Squirrel Girl, then it's an event in your eyes.
Then it's an event, yeah. Then it counts.
Can I just say I want that as a book? I just want to see I want to see Squirrel Girl get the fuck beat out of her by Wolverine. Anyways,
I know. By the way, we also have to stop and consider. Okay, well, Age of Apocalypse is an event, so doesn't that mean Kang Dynasty is an event?
Kang Dynasty.
It should be. It's an event. It's an event for you know what?
What?
Right.
Yeah,
it's an event for our souls.
I mean, under my rules, it is an event because it has a large implication. This is the enslavement of all of humanity. This is the death of, basically the human race.
Yeah.
So to me, it's an event. It's obviously.
And they say that
Dark Reign does not count as an event to me because it's a specific comics initiative. The initiative is an initiative. It's not an event.
Yeah.
It's really hard to classify either one of those as events. Where Norman Osborn takes over the government, which is what you mean to tell me? You had you had an event where the event was 2 years long because it started in 2008 and it didn't end up until 2010. So you did 2 years of an event.
Yeah. Imagine if they did that. 24 issues of an event. Imagine.
Dark Reign core issues. Let's look. Secret Invasion Dark Reign Avengers issue 1. Dark Reign, Dark Avengers, Utopia. Dark Reign, the Cabal. That's it. That's not an event.
Utopia, man, Utopia.
The event, there has to be, in order for it to be an event too, there has to be a cause and effect, right? Secret Invasion is an event because the way that it ends, it starts off a new status quo. If you shake status quo, you've automatically become an event in my mind. Like, Judgment Day is an event because it changes things, right? Secret
And a damn good one, and
Secret Empire, an event. Those are events to me. Where you can't really get away with that is Age of Apocalypse, Dark Reign, The Initiative, Days of Future Present, Enemy of the State. Fall of the Mutants is not an event. James Patterson's Max Ride is not an event.
what is
What
this?
is that? What the fuck is that?
Right.
Did we just hallucinate?
The best-selling author, James
I know.
Patterson, James Patterson brings the world of his Maximum Ride books to Marvel. James Patterson's Max Ride, the outcast teenagers of James Patterson's best-selling Maximum Rides novel stories, come to comics. It's up to these superpowered young people to save a world that has left them behind.
Alright.
Not an event.
Looks like it works.
You can't really count that as an event. And it's its own thing too, so also not an event.
Now, would you consider Darkhold to be an event or not?
Darkhold is a mini-series.
Okay, so
Right.
it's a mini-series, but it's not an event.
There is... Marvel Wiki has done this. The Wiki has done this better on Wikipedia. They do Marvel events, and the way that they've classified them is really interesting. This person did a really good job. Alright. So, they have line-wide events, which is Secret Wars 2, Infinity Gauntlet, The Infinity War, The Infinity Crusade, House of M, Civil War, World War Hulk, Secret Invasion, Siege, Fear Itself, Avengers vs. X-Men, Infinity Axis, Secret Wars, 2015, Civil War 2, Inhumans vs. X-Men, Secret Empire, and War of the Realms. With Empire, Judgment Day, Devil's Reign, King in Black. Right?
Yeah.
And then they have this other thing. They have major events / storylines. These count as Maximum Security, Infinity Abyss, The End, Secret War, Enemy of the State, right?
Yeah.
Wild Kingdom, Captain Universe, Annihilation, Silent War, right? And then they have everybody else's stuff too. They have an Avengers crossover / storylines, X-Men crossover / storylines, and Spider-Man crossover / storylines. It's their intercompany crossovers are even harder. So it's just like Marvel DC. You can't really count these. You shouldn't count these as events. Because are you really going to look at me and tell me Spider-Man and Invincible is an event? No, you're not going to say that.
Well, it's an event for all of us Robert Kirkman fans.
I think Namor had a fucking crossover with somebody too, because Namor's stupid. He does dumb shit like that.
Hey! That's
He just
really
kinda like-
offensive.
And Namor just bops around saying dumb shit. That's all he does.
Hey, there's also the cucking Cyclops, you know?
Yeah. Namor's the professional cucker. Like, he goes around cucking people, like Cyclops and Mr. Fantastic got beef with Namor.
Yeah. You know, I feel like we as a society should, say that like Cyclops being cucked is like a great honor. Because he wasn't
Yeah.
just cucked a hairy Canadian. And anyone can be cucked by an hairy Canadian, you know?
But you see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, Marvel Now, not an event, but it is an initiative. Maximum Carnage, you can say that. That's an event. Maximum Security, yes. Messiah Complex, no. Messiah War, no. Monsters Unleashed, yes. Mutant Massacre, no, you can't say that.
Yeah. Real quick, we
As I was saying,
finish this up here, and then in about 5 minutes we'll start talking about comics.
Yeah. I'll finish it up. I'm just saying, if we're going to talk about Marvel events, maybe try to have a better understanding of what an event is, because already I'm looking on Marvel's site, and granted, Marvel is the one that gets to decide what is and isn't an event, but if you're going to tell me X-Men Second Coming's an event, then then the event is the word event has no meaning anymore, because then by that logic, Operation Galactic Storm is an event. Kang Dynasty is an event. Well, yeah, that would mean that those are events, right?
Yeah.
That and the X-Men stuff is really stupid. Considering anything an X-Men event where it's just like, well, we saved the world when nobody was looking, and it's just like, cool. Oh, by the way, it also says Star Wars is an event.
What?
It's an event for cinema.
Star Wars, like the Star Wars comics, are events.
All of the comics are event. Wow.
No, you see what I'm saying? Not an event. We need to have like a more strict way on looking at events.
I really think it comes down to the company, what they say, but at the same time, I think we as fans should at least say, you know, hey, that's not an event, Marvel.
Marvel has gotten away. Fans have gotten away with telling Marvel what's what. Spider-Man Chapter 1 being a prime example. Where Marvel tried to make Spider-Man Chapter 1 canon, but then the Marvel community was just like, no, it's not. And they were like, yeah, you're right, never mind.
You know, this is also like important because no one read Chapter 1.
Nobody did either. But like, that's what I'm just trying to say. Because if we're going to categorize events, we need to have a stronger way of looking at it. Like Secret War event. I count Secret War as an event because it changed status quo. Didn't really have many times. It was just the miniseries by itself, right?
Yeah.
But it starts and ends in the book. And on top of that, that book had ramifications that affected the entire Marvel Universe. Nick Fury can't pull Spider-Man's fat out of the fire anymore. He can't help Wolverine. He can't cover for the Avengers. He can't do that anymore. And the powers that be don't like the Avengers and other superheroes. So now it's kind of like, oh shit, we didn't know how good we had it with Nick Fury. Right? Like, damn. We're boned. And then Nick Fury was a war criminal.
You know, Secret War, for being a superhero comic, it's a great story about the CIA just fucking shit up.
Exactly.
Just with the CIA agent having fun costumes and being like, I don't know how to do the Wolverine.
And it's shitty too, because like, when I stop and think about it, it's just like other X-Men books. Most X-Men events are relegated to just the X books. Nobody really gets involved with the X-Men shit. And the last time there is X-Men events, the X-Men are involved in events, but they're typically not front and center. Right? Like, they start to be kind of dickish in most events. Secret Wars 1, like, back in the 80s, they kind of just like, cool, we're gonna fuck off. Are you guys sure we could use you? Yeah, no, we're good. We're gonna fuck off. We're leaving. We're on our own. Well, you don't have to.
Yeah, and then Jen. Oh,
Well,
and then
I love how the heroes. I love how the heroes just flat out say, "You don't have to be by yourself. We can help you." And they're like, "No, we'll do it. We got it. You won't understand. We got to do things our way." Wow, you're fighting for cohabitation, but you don't want to be part of the species. You want to be. Never mind. Go away. Go away. Just go.
Yeah, what were you
There's
saying?
also times. What's up?
Oh, I was going to say what he was saying, but you keep going with your point. I'm sorry.
Janet
There's
hooks
also-
up with Magneto in Secret Wars.
Yes, she does.
She has clearly a taste for older men.
Yeah, because like Hank's supposed to be like 30, and I remember the Avengers book back in the 60s said she was 23.
Yep.
So Janet was like 21 when she created the Avengers. Janet, better than Emma Frost.
This is offensive.
I'm sorry.
Really?
She named the Avengers. She is the first Avenger, the first female Avenger. She's also the most productive with her wealth than Emma is, and she didn't get her start as a villain. Well, you can argue Emma coming back from villainy into heroics is more compelling. Janet's been here the entire time, making moves. She has her own fashion industry. She's led the Avengers, and it's just like, well, can you say that, Emma? No? Yeah, shut the fuck up. I would be on Team Janet so fast. I'd be like, yeah, bye, Emma. Later.
Yeah, but like, this reminds me that like the really one thing that Janet and Emma have in common.
Yeah, what's that?
They both had stupid cheating storylines when they cheat on their BFs with a random dude.
You know what else they have
Okay,
in common? They were in a
Emma's-
relationship with Tony Stark.
Yeah. Well, one of them was getting married. So.
It should have been Janet!
And
Janet should have been married to Tony!
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree, man.
Oh.
Like I
Anyway,
like
let's-
Emma, and I
What's
like
up?
Tony, but Emma should be married with Cyclops.
Just so she can get cucked, or he can get cucked again.
Yeah, but it's getting cucked by the king of Atlantis.
By this point,
You know.
fucking Cyclops should have his wife on loan for any man that comes by.
It's
Yeah.
not just any.
Anyway, so let's get into comics now.
Yeah. I'll start.
Yeah, so what have you been reading?
I read Avengers, Incredible Hulk, Ultimate Invasion. For the sake of the podcast, I will start with Ultimate Invasion.
Okay.
Ultimate Invasion issue 2 has the best artwork I have seen from Brian Hitch in his entire career. I think the colorist also helps out a big bunch, but one of the things I really do enjoy is how he really builds upon this new world, where it's just like the Rasputins never joined the X-Men, and they instead hang out with like Omega Red. Howard Stark is Iron Man, and Obadiah Stane is still his partner, and they call it Stane Stark Enterprises or whatever. And they sell weapons, and they make a shit ton of money doing what they do. There's also really good scenes with like the Hulk and everything, how this world completely changed. So we find out that Reed is trying to change this world for the better. So, superhuman smackdowns don't just occur randomly. They just are not, the norm.
Yeah.
Best part about it is like things change so dramatically that he never let the Fantastic Four go into space. most of the heroes that we know don't become who they are, except for like the Hulk, and he couldn't find Captain America and kill him, so Captain America's missing. Right?
Huh.
He's still in the ice, but we don't know. Reed says, I never found anybody there, so I guess they didn't have a Captain America. And the Hulk becomes a Buddhist. He becomes like a priest. It's great. It's good shit. Right? Up until this Gala gets attacked. What's up?
No, I just wanted to say that, like, I agree with everything you're saying, that, like, the world is super interesting and that Brian Hitch's art is amazing. I don't like Brian Hitch's art, kinda.
Yeah.
To me, it's kinda looks weird, but man, is this book gorgeous!
It really is. What happens is that these time revenants or whatever attack Reed from a certain point in time, and Reed pretty much detains them and fucks them up. Obadiah Stane blows up, and Howard Stark is with them, and Howard created this like paradox tower thing. And what it does is that it kind of keeps time in a certain place for a little bit. But what happens is that Reed explains to them, like, Reed explains to Howard, hey, you see these Captain America and Wasp lookalikes? Yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to kill these people because this is where they get their genetic samples from. Just mows them down in front of them. And then Howard is just like, bruh. He says, like, you're an idiot. They're going to do the same thing to you. And he's just like, well, I'm not from this world, so I don't have anything to worry about. And Reed does the most disgusting and creepiest thing ever, right? So the first time they attacked, they took off half of his face, right? Half of his head is missing. But he redistributed his brain in parts of his body.
Oh.
And he's just like, oh, I'll heal eventually, but I'm a little mad at them, so I'm going to murder them horrifically when I get the chance. I'm going to end their entire existence. So, by the end of the book, we find that Howard and Reed are going to team up to figure things out. And it's like, whoa, this book is so good. And by the way, I think they're calling the new Ultimate Universe Earth 6160.
Huh.
Base.
That's what it's going to be called.
Yeah, so, like, is anyone here more excited from what is the new Ultimate Universe gonna be than the actual event right now?
I hope Tony gets to be Iron Man. I like Ultimate Iron Man.
Yeah.
I think that they really are going to change Spider-Man, though. I think Spider-Man's going to get a huge overhaul. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they try and shake it up and be they're like Flash Thompson Spider-Man over here. I wouldn't be surprised in the least bit.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did like a hard reboot and they did just like the Ultimate Marvel Universe from the 2000s, but in 2023 and with an actual plan.
I think what they're going to do more so has something to do with Reed trying to bring back Earth 1610.
Yeah.
Like, in some way, shape, or form, he's going to try and bring it back with this paradox machine. And that's what I think he's going to do. Right? Because he outright says what it is. He says, he stopped Peter... Oh, it's called the Immortus Engine. Excuse me. It's a time machine. Right. So he's going to try and bring this machine over to Earth 1610, or he's going to try and make this world into what he really wants, and he's just going to keep playing with time. Which I'm like, bro, I'm so excited for this. Ultimate Invasion has been really surprising, and I think it's one of Hickman's best books over at Marvel. It's not like Jeff Johns where it gets really confusing. It's more like, whoa, he stopped and he explained it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
To be honest, I feel like Hickman's books I'm also like they need you to think about what you're reading than confusing.
Yeah.
Like even Shield.
He says, and repurpose existing pieces like you for a grander design. It's unconceivable, unbelievable. You have to understand the full scope of what you've done. You annihilated the future. You destroyed their past. This won't be the end of it. This was just your first encounter. No, it was the second. The first was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it's really good. Ultimate Invasion, Vlad, if you ever have the time, or if you just want to wait to trade collect it, to pick it up. This is like the reboot that I've been waiting for, where it's just like, I feel like this is a very smart book, and I feel like the things that they're trying to do with the book is even smarter, where it's just like, ooh, you're changing things, you're shaking things up. This is dramatic.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to check it out. Because I read the first book, and or the first issue, and it was really good.
Yeah.
So I just haven't had time to pick up the second one. And I'll probably have to wait until I get the third, but I might be able to find it in my comic book shop.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the best books. What were you going to say, Xavier?
I was gonna say that, like, fuck, I don't know what to say. I forgot. About... No, I don't remember. I don't remember.
Alright.
Oh,
so
I remember that I said that, like, I've been waiting for, like, an Ultimate Universe reboot since the end of Donny Cates's Venom.
Same.
Yeah.
This is great. Now that we're getting this, too, this is great.
Yeah.
Moving on to Avengers, issue 3, we see the Ashen Combine attack the world. They attack the Vatican City, Toronto, Canada, the Philippines, Australia, Finland, and Carol is just like, all right, everybody load up, we're going to beat everybody's ass. And T'Challa's just like, look, I understand we're pretty gung-ho, but we need to think of a plan before going in. And Carol just like comes up with a plan that second.
Yeah.
1 minute.
Yeah, I really loved this book. I just want to say this. I really loved Avengers. Jed McKay's Avengers is shaping up to be an incredible run of comics. And it's becoming like my main recommendation for anyone wanting to start with the Avengers. What do you think of it, Vlad?
Yeah, I agree. It's where my starting point for a lot of people is as modern Avengers because it's so good.
Yeah, like
and the storytelling's great. Yeah, you go. Sorry.
Once the trade paperback comes out, I'm gonna recommend the fuck out of this book.
Oh yeah, yeah. The characters are great. The motives are great. The storytelling's great. All of it's just peak.
This is so good.
While we wait for MCU Man to come back, I might as well talk. I haven't read any new comics lately. But I have read Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes #2 from, I think it was 2010. Reading bits and pieces of that with MCU Man and a couple other people. That is a fun comic. We read the it's basically the retelling of Yellow Jacket, and there were some really good funny moments in it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I really like this idea.
Yeah, Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes is basically just a retelling of the 60s stories. 60s and 70s stories. They're really good. Like, they're just fun to read. But, while we wait, what have you read?
Ooh, that's kind of a lot. So can I talk about non-picture books that I've read, or like just comic books?
We kind of focus on comics, so that might be best. Just start on comics.
I just wanted to say that like I'm briefly started reading Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's pretty good. The twist has been ruined by pop culture. Next thing, been rereading Ryan North's Fantastic Four. Holy shit, it's incredible.
Yeah, I've heard North's Fantastic Four is really good.
Oh yeah, North's. Bro, is it on Marvel Unlimited?
I believe it is.
Read it. You owe it to yourself to read it.
Yeah.
Outside of Hickman's, my favorite run on the characters. That's what I've read. That's at least from what I've read. Like, it's so good. It's just... it's insane. It's sci-fi. It's funny. It's so touching. The first issue is one of my favorite first issues in any comic run. My god, it is so good. It's so perfect as a comic about a family. It's a comic about sci-fi and adventure. Oh my god.
I don't know if you can help in my stream. This is it?
I cannot see. Read me. Oh, this.
This is it?
Read it right now.
I will definitely check it out.
Yes. It's so fucking good. It's also like, in my opinion, it's like the perfect jumping on point for the Fantastic Four. It's like, you want to get caught up with Fantastic Four, good, start here. Or if you want like something that will introduce you to who the Four are, which, I get it. The first issue doesn't introduce you to who the Four are, to who the Fantastic Four are as people. They just introduce you to Ben and Alicia. Don't want to get into any spoilers. You'll see why, but like, you should read the first 4 issues as kind of one big arc.
Yeah.
And whatever. But like, I feel like if you want to like get your handhold and like get an introduction to who the Fantastic Four are as people, just read Full Circle or read the Judgment Day story arc. Like the story arc that happened around Judgment Day. That was also really good. It's kind of an intro to the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
But getting back at the Ryan North's run, my god, it's so good. My god, it's amazing. And this has the best Reed Richards writing, just in terms, or at least the most fun. Reed is written like an autistic man, and it's like so fucking wholesome and funny, and oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. It's everything the Fantastic Four should be, and my god, it's such a great run.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, my only big problem with it is, it's that the first 2 issues basically have the same message, but kind of reframed, in a way.
I see.
Yeah, it's kind of like in different angles of the same message. You'll see more once you read it.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah. Man,
what else have you read?
Red Pulp by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. It's this Western story about this guy in the late 1800s. Now he's in the 1940s, and he and a Pinkerton beat up a group of Nazis. Like a Pinkerton who has morals? That's sci-fi. Like, we read about superheroes, but at least they're a little bit grounded.
Yeah, I was about to say, this is some Bioshock shit here if it's like we're dealing with Pinkertons fighting Nazis. Like, Nazism wasn't a thing back then. It's not set in the 1800s, it's set in the 1940s. The 1940s. I thought you said 1800s.
Yeah, like, the cowboy and the Pinkerton are, like, really old. And, like, the Pinkerton, like, The book is like an exploration of old age as a concept. It just talks about old age. It talks about your life. It's introspective. It's long. It's kind of slow in pacing, but that's okay because the book is fucking fun. It's great. Seriously, the art by Sean Phillips complements Brubaker's writing like nothing else. Man, It's so good. Like, I've always heard, like, people say that Brubaker and Phillips are some of the best people doing comics right now. They're an incredible duo, and now I understand why. My god, they're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, this and Captain America make me know why people love Ed Brubaker so much. It's such an incredible writer.
Let's see. Have you read anything else?
Ooh, the new Scarlet Witch issue, which is just the Wizard of Oz.
Oh my god.
With Joseph.
Yeah, you told me who Joseph is, which is apparently just...
I need to explain to the audience here. Hey, you know, kids, you want to see Magneto, but with long hair, and as a good guy? Yay! He also gets decapitated by Betsy Braddock.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's interesting, to say the least. A Magneto clone that's good. But isn't Magneto technically good in the current run?
He's dead.
He's dead? I didn't know he was dead. I thought he was
He
still
died
alive.
in like fucking Judgment Day, man!
I haven't read Judgment Day, so...
Oh, you should. It's really good.
I've heard a lot of good things about it, and I need to check it out.
It's one of my favorite Avengers stories.
Yeah. I haven't read much, so... Might end it here because I think MCU Man is caught up with something else, and he can't get back.
I wanted to talk about Axis for like a few minutes, if I can.
Yeah, you can talk about Access.
Holy fuck, Axis is bad!
Yep.
Holy fuck! It's just... So, I read only the main series and not the tie-ins, so maybe the tie-ins make the event worthwhile, I don't know. Like, I've heard, like, someone say that, like, you should read Axis as a part of the big story that Rick Remender wanted to tell with, like, Uncanny X-Force, Secret Avengers, Uncanny Avengers, maybe add in a sprinkle of his Captain America, maybe smoke a joint while you read that, or whatever. Like, I read Axis as just the miniseries.
Which Axis, what was
The one where they fight Onslaught, Red Skull, and then the evils invert.
I see.
Yeah, that one. It's a Silver Age book, but with the Marvel now writing and the Dodsons pencil the book. Sometimes it's pretty good. Sabretooth as a good guy is an interesting concept. Superior Iron Man is literally me for real, for real. That's definitely an event, guys. The Magneto times were awesome. Those were awesome. Like, genuinely, some of the best things. Like, it's Magneto by Columbine. What the fuck do you expect? One of the best comic books, like, published by Marvel at that time. Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, also been reading 60s X-Men and Fantastic Four. They're really funny, and they're also fun. They're, like, weird.
Yeah, the 60s era is like... It's a time capsule, is what MCU Man was saying earlier, and he's not wrong.
Beast looks like... Hey, can you show us the image of Beast looking like Ronald Reagan?
Yeah, give me a minute. X-Men, this was... what was it called?
I need to make it the thumbnail of the video, please. Beast looking like Ronald Reagan.
What was the first, X-Men series called?
X-Men.
Okay, because I'm seeing... Is it No Dash?
Now it's being called... Now you can find the issues under Uncanny X-Men 1963 because...
Oh, Uncanny X-Men. Okay.
Yeah. But in the 60s was just the X-Men. Very straight to the point.
Okay, yeah, I was trying to find X-Men, but I didn't know it was underneath Uncanny.
Yeah. Epic. Absolutely epic.
Alright, just give me a minute, I gotta find Ronald Reagan.
Yeah. It's in issue 1.
I know it is. I remember seeing it.
Yeah, I sent you that.
Yeah, we did a group reading of it, and it's the funniest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah. Oh, like I sent you that. Like I sent. We were discussing it in chat, in our chats, and I just sent you. Hey, look, Beast Reagan.
Ronald Beast. Ronald McCoy.
Yeah, Ronald McCoy. You know that Ronald McCoy was also a pretty good actor?
I didn't even know there was an actor called Ronald McCoy.
No. Wait, there's an actor in real life who's blue and, like, has been a politician once?
No, I thought you were being serious. I don't judge sarcasm and
Ronald
humor
McCoy,
that well.
aka
Can't tell.
Beast Reagan, was a good actor. You've never seen Brokeback Mountain in the Marvel Universe starring Beast and Wonder Man?
Oh, god damn it, it's not pulling it. I can't pull it up. Why isn't there a digital issue available?
I don't know.
Come on, Marvel. Okay, I can read this one. And Beast should show up here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's when they all try to fuck Jean. Like, they just go, awooga, awooga.
Yeah, I'm trying to find him out of his costume.
Yeah. He's just literally Ronald Reagan. You know, I love, like, Silver Age X-Men. It's just the time capsule it is for, like, X-Men. Because seriously, nothing of it in terms of tone sticked out to the Giant Size era. It's like what happened with the current X-Men, with the X-Men between 1975 and 2019. They just, okay, it's a continuation, yeah, but also, like, you can ignore that stuff and just start here.
Oh, I found Beast Reagan.
Show us!
Hold on, let me get a good picture of him. He doesn't look like Reagan here, though, in the issue that I found.
What issue you found? It's
Number
1963.
Number 3.
I said number 1!
I can't pull up number 1. What part of I can't pull up number 1? Don't you understand?
I've sent you that fucking image in our chat.
I can't switch tabs. I can't just minimize Discord.
Okay, well, not. Listen, you're using it for the thumbnail of the video, okay?
Wait, what's going on?
We are yelling about Ronald Reagan, Hank McCoy.
Damn.
Yes, Ronald Reagan.
Are you guys done recording?
No, we're not done. We're still here.
Oh, might be. I had to go take that because I was talking to the cops.
What happened?
It's a long story. We're not going to talk about it on Comics Cast.
Yeah, it's a long story, but I was on Avengers, right?
Yeah.
All right, so sorry, I lost my train of thought. So Avengers, what happens is that the Ashen Combine attack pretty much the world, and the Avengers are trying to get into action. Black Panther and Captain Marvel are talking, and it's a really cool exchange of dialogue, where Black Panther just says, "We know nothing about what's happening, what we face." Sam chimes in saying, "People are dying, T'Challa." T'Challa then says, "I am aware of that, Sam. But more will die, including ourselves, if we do not win. I am not afraid of dying. The only thing I am afraid of is losing. I thought I was leading this team. You are, and you brought me on this team despite my opprobrium surrounding me. Because you wanted my counsel, so please accept my counsel and lead us." And then immediately she comes up with a plan. She's just like, 5 minutes and we're out. Tony, satellites, feeds.
get us raw data. Vision, you process information faster than any of us. I need you an immediate threat eval. Thor, Wanda, I need you to put us everywhere we need to be. We've got 5 bogies plus their orbital clubhouse. Everyone's going in the field. And wow. I really love Jed McKay's voice for Carol, and I love his voice for the rest of the Avengers. Like, he has Thor threaten that godhead creature.
Alabaster.
Alabaster. Yeah, Thor just comes in, threatens her. And his new snazzy Thor costume.
Oh, he gets a new Thor costume?
Yeah, he looks really good. It's his Immortal Thor costume.
Holy shit! Immortal Thor!
Yeah. With, like, the red hand wrap and, like, the classic Thor suit. I'm all about it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Tony's in his new stealth armor, and they're all taking on these things individually. Right, they're all taking on the Ashen Combine, and Vision has a problem with a few of them. I love Carol, and then T'Challa and Sam are storming the Living City.
Okay,
It is this book sets the threat level. It sets the threat, then the stakes pretty high, and it really gets you to understand this is an Avengers book. This is what these Avengers focus. This is issue 3, yeah.
I definitely need to pick it up.
This is really good. This is, like, McKay's Avengers has just been banger after banger after banger, and it really gets what the Avengers are supposed to be. Like, he gets it, right? I'm really pleased with everything he's done, especially with creating new villains and giving them a new sense of, like, not a new sense of purpose, but he reminds us that this is what they do.
Yeah.
They're the first line of defense for global threats. Right? They're all on a first-name basis with one another, too. They're not just co-workers, they're friends, and sometimes they don't always get along with one another, and I love that aspect. I love that McKay just nails that home.
Yeah. Just want to say, McKay, like, is writing banger after banger after banger at Marvel.
McKay doesn't, yeah.
Yeah, Avengers. Fucking fantastic. It's amazing. Even an X-Men guy, even an X-Men Fantastic Four guy like me can say, okay, Avengers is one of the best books on stands. Buy it. Moon Knight. Incredible. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't know why people are disappointed by the show. Nothing will ever be as good as this.
Yeah. And the people who are disappointed by this show, they can't seem to, like, stop complaining about it and actually read this book. Well, I'm like, go do that! Stop whining!
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it's everything you want from a Moon Knight story. There's religious...
Even his Doctor Strange. Even his Doctor Strange. His Doctor Strange has the same thing you were just about to say. There's a lot going on in his Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's so good. Like the last issue. My god. Like with that 5,000-year war. Like Doctor Strange, there's even a cameo by the gods. Who are the gods? And like, my god. Oh my fucking god, it blew my mind. It was so good.
Speaking of blew my mind, it was so good. The Incredible Hulk issue 2. This is the last one I read this week or last week. Philip Kennedy Johnson just delivers another banger with the Hulk.
Yeah.
Right. So what happens is like they find this like little town, and Sister Sadie is the leader of this town. But they're like undead zombie people that are like rotting from the outside. They look fucked up. But there's this girl, right? And she knows Bruce Banner's the Hulk. And she's trying to get him to turn into the Hulk because she wants to hang out with him, but he keeps trying to tell her he isn't in a good mood. He'll kill you. He doesn't care right now.
Yeah.
Go away. Like the last time the Hulk and I had a conversation, I turned him into a spaceship. Okay?
Reference
Buzz
to
off. Yeah. And
Who is this hero?
They bring it up, and it pretty much goes down like a Hellboy comic, where like they go to this weird town. This people are like rotting. They don't look like normal people. And Bruce and the girl are having this really cool conversation. By the way, Nick Klein's art, fantastic. Like, I never got to talk about the art of Avengers with C.F. Villa. Incredible artwork.
Yeah.
Incredible. None of these... the Avengers offices are done phoning it in. They're all about it. Like, Avengers and Hulk and Captain America and shit like that, only top talent. They got top talent people. Like, Nick Klein does a really good job. But anyway, Bruce is talking to this girl, and she's just like, well, I want to see him. I want to hang out with him. And he's like, well, okay, but he's not an Avenger anymore. He's not interested in playing hero. And then she's just like, well, okay, well, why don't you give me a try? And he's just like, wait, this is a tryout? Go fuck off. And then she flips out, and then he sees part of her face, because she comes from an abusive home, where her dad burned part of her face.
Oh.
Right? And she says, this is the biggest bar in the line. I'm here for the Hulk, not you. The Hulk is the strongest thing I've ever seen. Being close to him, it makes me feel strong. You saw I'm a monster already. I'm allowed to want the awesome parts too.
Damn.
I know, right? And then they have like this really like fucked up nightmare where her name is Charlene. Charlene's dad wakes her up, and her own nightmare tells her, hey, these people will be coming for you. Meanwhile, Bruce's nightmare is that the Hulk is like playing with him. He's just like, yep, you know, I'm not letting you have a friend after what you did to Betty in our own subconscious and what you did to me. We were just getting on good terms, and then you just fucked me over. Then they get arrested by a cop, where they are then taken to this church, and they sacrifice Bruce Banner. He gets stabbed with a knife. Bruce keeps trying to like beg the Hulk to come out before he gets stabbed, but the Hulk is like, no, fuck you, I'll come out when I want.
Oh, wow.
Right? And then he lets him get stabbed, and then there's just like this body horror where he's transforming into the Hulk, and it's fucked up. Right? And the town is just like, oh shit, wait, something's not right with him. Wait, he's the one we're looking for. He's the heretic. He's the thing we're looking for. The green door is shut because of him. Oh my god, all of the monsters are after him. We have to kill the Hulk. And then they're like, oh shit. You know, wow, what another great issue. Philip Kennedy Johnson's Hulk, Avengers, Ultimate Invasion, all bangers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not
Philip
one.
Johnson, like, is one of those writers that to me excels both at lighthearted, fun comic books and horror shit. Like, bro, you read Marvel Zombies Resurrection?
I have not.
Ooh, it's like a reboot of Marvel Zombies. That's like kind of a traditional zombie narrative with Peter, the Richards kids, and like a few other characters surviving the zombie apocalypse. Mwah! It's good. It's good shit. And like, fuck. Like, I think the zombies episode of What If, it's like really similar to this. Like, except like the Peter being a kid. With Peter being... Yeah. And also, like, he wrote Action Comics. Like, we should all mention that the DC Action Comics is some of the best Superman stuff we've got in, like, ever. It's so good.
Yeah.
Y'all should read Action Comics, guys. That's the one recommendation that Xavier is gonna be annoying about this week.
We did, while you were away, we did have Xavier go over what he's read. I don't know if there's anything else that you read, Xavier?
Yeah?
Okay, so you don't have anything else?
Nothing? No, nothing.
Okay, MC Man, do you have anything else?
Another book I've been reading. Give me a minute. I read the first issue of Silver Surfer Requiem.
How is it?
Always.
This is the book where we find out that Silver Surfer has cosmic cancer.
Oh God.
Think of this as like All-Star Superman, but with Silver Surfer,
Okay, you sold me.
right? Where he's trying to like find meaning in his last days, but it seems like he already has his last meaning. Like he's found that meaning with really interesting character development. The first place he goes to when he finds himself getting sick is the Fantastic Four. And this is some really good Straczynski stuff. Like, JMS is writing this.
The GOAT. So excited for his Captain America.
I'm on the second issue where he's going to come and meet, like, Spider-Man, and he's going to awaken godhood and Mary Jane. Back when, Spider-Man was fun. So it's like, oh shit, wait a minute, what's going on? He goes to the Fantastic Four, and like Reed and Sue are on the verge of tears trying to help him, and Norrin Rad just says like, how long do I have? And then he's just like, oh, you have like 2 weeks to like a month if you're lucky. And he just says, you know how long butterflies live to? 2 weeks. Sometimes they're the way that they think about things is 2 weeks is 2 generations for them. Where it's just like, wow, this book right now. And by the end of it, he's just like, my name is Norrin Rad. We also get like a flashback to how he met Galactus for the first time. And how Galactus was like kind of scummy and deleted his memories, was just like, okay, yeah, so you've got the power cosmic.
Yeah.
But
Looks like
Assad Ribic does a really good job of it. With the EMH tie-ins, they still hold up.
Yeah, I was talking about that because we were reading EMH 2, which was... We were reading the ones where it was the Yellow Jacket, and that was so much fun.
Those books are fun, yeah.
I don't...
With Joe Casey's Avengers, always remember, you can trust Joe Casey and Beast.
Yep.
You can trust them. They don't ever mess up.
reminds me that he did also an origin miniseries for the X-Men. That was pretty good.
X-Men, Schmexmen.
Yeah. Alright, so do we have anything else?
No, that's it for me.
Xavier?
Yeah.
Alright, well, I guess that's this episode of Comic Cast. This has been a pretty long one, but hey, more content for you. We will see you all here in 2 weeks, and we'll do another episode. Alright, see you.
Yeah.
Later, players. Thank you so much for joining us. Oh fuck, I forgot to talk about World's Finest.